if someone were to ask you, what is the difference between prenatal yoga and regular yoga? You know how in yoga, we're like, this is how I learned it in my teacher training. We're going to our edge and we're breathing there, and then the edge is going to expand, right? So we're sort of pushing the boundaries of what's possible in terms of our poses. I can do a handstand against the wall. Now I'm going to come out and do it with a partner and see if that's possible. With prenatal yoga, that's not really the point. The point is less about trying to do poses and more about trying to learn to listen to our bodies, trying to learn to understand the language that the body uses, trying to make space for baby. If there's one little phrase that we're going to use to define prenatal yoga, it's we're making space for baby. You will have people on a spectrum. On one side, you have people that are very scared. They're worried about doing any pose at all. They don't want to hurt baby. They don't want to mess things up. We want to bring them a little closer toward a sense of trust, which is, hey, nature is really powerful. And there's very little that we can do to mess with her when she wants to go in a direction, right? Yes, she messes up sometimes. Miscarriages are probably way more frequent than we even know of, but they happen. They happen in the first trimester. So if we're ever going to take it easy, it would be the first trimester. Not because we can create a problem, but because they happen, and we never want our mamas to think, did I cause this? I wondered about whether I should do that cobra pose. And now I think, I must have caused this. So we don't want that. Nothing's really stuck yet. And so we're going to go overboard with, how does this feel? Does it feel like something you want to try? We're always going to start from the lowest common denominator of the pose, right? In a regular class, we might teach to the middle, right? We are going to do a half handstand. If you don't want to do that full pose, you can do down dog with your heels against the wall, right? So we give some options for people who can't do the pose. If that's easy for you, stick one leg up to the sky. So that's how we might do it in a regular class. In a prenatal class, we say, okay, we're going to do our down dog against the wall. That's the pose. And then now, if your shoulder blades feel nice and strong and you feel good here, if you like, you can take one foot and push it into the wall. See if the other one lifts up and then come down. Generally, you'll have half your class already up by then. But people will not feel pressured to do a pose because the pose that you're doing is just down dog with heels against the wall. So you're not giving, different variations for people who can't. You're starting with the can't, and you're inviting people to go further. So this is, basically a prenatal principle that we're going to follow, but this is for the people especially who are kind of scared. On the other end of the spectrum, we have people who they have a strong practice. They do not want to change anything. They are just going to keep doing what they're doing, and there is nothing wrong with that. However, we always want to bring people into a balanced place. So reminding people that they have a yoga partner now, right? They're doing yoga with someone, and we want to make space for that someone. Even if they don't really need to, we can give them these adjustments like, oh, in your lunge, you can try putting your fingertips inside your front foot. You might not need to now, but down the road, that'll really help. What are we doing by doing that? We're not just giving them a tool, an adjustment. We are helping them start to think about making space for baby in all sorts of ways. If we change our practice, we're going to start changing our lives. And this is very important because if we don't really even try to get our heads around how much is going to change when baby comes, we're going to be really overwhelmed. And it's going to be like a slap upside the head. We're not just birthing a baby we are birthing ourselves as mother to this baby. All of these things are encapsulated in make space for baby. Awareness, heart, body, mind, all of it.